I accidentally liked an Instagram photo and now my life is probably over. I am not the original poster. Original post by you, Canada 11,235,813 in R. Tifu. Reminder: do not comment on linked posts. Trigger warnings. Mention of sexual content. Less than. Mood spoilers. Embarrassment. Anxious anticipation. Reflection. Less than. An NBSP. Hashtag TIFU by accidentally liking an Instagram photo and now my life is probably over. Wed. July 26, 2023. My 55M daughter, 21F, still lives at home, but has full autonomy here. But I like to know what's going on. So when she texted that she's bringing a few friends over after school, it wasn't to ask permission. Just to let us know there might be a few more people over for dinner. No prob. Who? I asked. She mentioned a few names I recognized and one I didn't. Let's call her Sally. Who's Sally? Just another friend from uni. Okay, sounds good. See you later. My idle curiosity led me to Instagram. Just wondering who Sally is. I looked up my daughter's IG list of who she follows, and found only one Sally whose profile indicated she attended the same uni as my daughter. Obviously her. That would have been it. Except her profile caught my attention, because unlike most of her friends who have them set on private, this one was wide open to the public, and it's one of these typical young beautiful woman profiles, full of selfies in exotic clothes and poses. I scroll down a bit and of course there are beach pics from last summer, and like any normal red-blooded male, it catches my attention. No, I'm not into girls my daughter's age. I'm not some perv, but when those sorts of pictures show up on your phone, most guys would be lying if they told you it didn't catch their attention for a closer look. Anyway, I pause the scroll there and I screw up because I double tap it. And that dreaded big red, like, heart shows up. Right on some very revealing bikini pic. My actual heart actually stops for a moment too. I'm sure of it. I instantly unlike it. But, of course, the damage is done. Somewhere, Sally's phone just got a notification that some user whose account shares the same last name as my daughter liked that pic. So, Sally will mention this to my daughter and I will be a dead man. And that's it. It's been nice knowing you all. I realize there may be a saving grace here. Which is that Sally, with her 20k followers and thousands of likes per pic, might have notifications turned off. In which case this is a non-issue. Or, she gets so many notifications, she won't notice because she ignores them and then clears them in bunches. Perhaps that's wishful thinking. Or, as per above, I'm dead. I don't really see many other alternatives. For the moment, until I hear anything from someone, I feel like I'm anywhere from totally in the clear to dead, like I'm strapped into Schrodinger's electric chair, waiting to find out which way the lever will fall. TLDR. Accidentally like my daughter's friend's bikini pic on IG. An NBSP. Hashtag UPDATE. Man, this really blew up in just a short amount of time. I can't reply to every comment, but happy to address some of the common themes. And, below that, what ultimately happened. 1. First and foremost, perhaps it's the way I wrote it, or perhaps it's the way people just want to lash out at others for no real reason because their mind is already made up. But the point is this: there's a tremendous difference between finding something attractive and being attracted to it. I will freely admit, and call me what you want, that many women in their 20s posing in bikinis are attractive. Am I attracted to them to the extent I'd approach and message and shoot my shot with them? No, but 200,000 years of evolutionary instinct is hard to fight. So if I'm at the beach and a pretty young woman walks by, I'm probably going to look. Like most people, men and women, young or old, for their own reasons, are also going to look. It's not creepy. It's simply being human. All of these, "You're a perv." 1. Comments lead me to ask you gatekeepers of what's creepy or not the following question. If someone on a beach or with a public-facing IG profile obviously meant to get views isn't meant to be looked at, who is deciding it? Like in this case, 21F young woman. Who's allowed to look at the profile? 25M? 30M? 35M? How about a 21M incel psycho? How about a 65F predatory lesbian? My feeling, clearly not shared by everyone, is that if you're putting yourself out on display, you're going to get looked at. I think that's actually the idea. And there's a far cry between being admired from a distance and having someone actually take it to any next step. 2. Amused at many people asking for the IG account so they can see for themselves and perhaps flood my like out of the way. Lol. No. 3. I'm convinced she didn't see it because I unliked it right away, and as many people are saying, if it's within 5 seconds, it never went out. I'm pretty sure my unlike was within 5 milliseconds. And here's the update. Daughter and friends and Sally showed up. There was zero hint of anything. No weird looks. No lingering glances. No little giggles. Very nice and normal dinner conversation. And that was it. Then the girls got all dolled up in pink and glossy lipstick and went off to the movies. Probably off to see Oppenheimer. An NBSP. Reminder, I am not the original poster. Lol. I love the ending! Exclamation mark. Tears of joy. All of these, "You're a perv." 1. Comments lead me to ask you gatekeepers of what's creepy or not. Oop wrote an essay to explain why he was scrolling. Not even glancing but scrolling. His daughter's friends page, then dude is like, "How dare you accuse me of just being a creep who almost got caught and not quirky involved dad." The more he tries to explain himself, the more suspicious he sounds. 65-yo predatory lesbian LMFAO, how he repressed his evolutionary instincts to bonk her on the head and drag her off to his cave once he saw her in person. I'll never know. TBH, it kind of seems like he looked her up hoping that she'd be hot lol. So a 65-yo lesbian looking at Sally's photos is predatory, but not a 55-yo straight man. What's so funny about this story is that he refuses to admit to being attracted to his daughter's friend while also being like, "Boot, biologically speaking it's hard to deny our evolutionary instinct." Honestly, the weirdest part for me was, I've never heard of this person, so I need to look her up on Insta. Why? What do you think you're going to find out that will be relevant or necessary? It doesn't surprise me much that when he discovered she had sexy pictures he kept looking. But he shouldn't have been there in the first place. I saw his original post when it came out, and there were tons of comments, but he only replied to the ones that called him out. Dude was so defensive over his creepy, less than actions and just couldn't help himself from trying to explain his reasoning, behavior. He'll prob do the same thing here lol. IDK man. If enough PPL are calling you out on it, maybe it's a sign that from an outside perspective, it is creepy. And instead of trying to argue back and throw a hissy fit over it, listen or just ignore it. As long as you know your true intentions, that's all that matters, right? I'm trying to imagine what kind of maniac you'd have to be to stay logged in with your main account on Insta when you are doing something covert like creeping on your daughter's friends. Oh, I'm sorry. Being idly curious. Oops. I accidentally stalked my daughter's Insta. Quote, oops. I accidentally found her hot friend's profile. Quote, oops. I accidentally scrolled through her hundreds of photos until I found one that was super provocative. Quote, oops. I accidentally liked it. Tee-hee. Quote, oops. I wonder if she will notice me. Quote, FFs. It's frustrating how creeps are absolutely convinced that everyone else are like them. And if anyone disagrees, they are just lying. I had a HVAC tech come to my house. He just checked something. I talked to him for maybe 20 seconds tops about what he was doing. He left. 5 minutes later I get an Instagram friend request from him. My guess is he was snooping and accidentally hit follow. He had a wife and kids too. I immediately screenshotted and called the company. I was super freaking wigged out. Not sure how they handled it because I switched companies. It's men who think like this that have made me be self-conscious by simply existing in this world. Since I was 11, he can call staring harmless all he wants. But as a woman, the type of programming that begins so early on is because of situations like this exactly. You can feel it when someone is staring at you when you've had to be hypervigilant for so long. He may not act on it, but that's not to say the other guy, just looking, wouldn't. And you always have to be prepared. We do not exist for the male gaze. Get out of here with your 200,000 years of evolutionary instinct, speak. Oopdif protest too much. Lol to 65F predatory lesbian. I hate when men say it's biological. I am caveman, I have urge. Exclamation mark. Quote. And like any normal red-blooded male, it catches my attention. I bet he's also the kind of guy who says it's in a man's nature to cheat. Thanks, I hate him. NGL, he had me in the first post who hasn't accidentally liked someone's photo. He seemed, understandably, horrified by the mistake, until I got to the update post. As soon as I saw the 200,000 years of evolution comment justifying why he has no control over his ogling. Nope. Dude is just a perv. EU. A 55 meters looking at his daughter's young friend's bikini photos is gross and creepy no matter how you try to make it look.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.